you all can see the screen. Okay, we're going to start in a bit. Okay, hope the screen is clear. Reposition it a bit. It's a little too far right. Just shift it to the center. That's better. Okay. Zoomed in. Just adjust it a little bit. Okay, good morning everyone. Thank you for joining us. We'll be starting our morning news reading soon. Hope you're all having a good Sunday morning. For those of you who are working on Sunday, I feel your pain. I feel you, all my brothers and sisters who are working on a Sunday morning. I feel you. So hopefully we can make the morning a little better, more tolerable for everyone by reading something cringy. Singapore Institution slay with Gen Z marketing. Here we go. Homegrown institutions are getting a glow up using hashtag Gen Z marketing. A recent TikTok video by National Gallery Singapore opens with an older man greeting his audience using Gen Z slang. Hey bestie, it's time to enter your artsy era. Museum employee Clarence Yeo, who is in his 60s, continues using Gen Z parlance as he walks around the museum, declaring the vibes are immaculate around here. He then crowns iconic artist Georgette Chen, queen of giving us the bombastic side-eye, referring to the Singapore Pioneer's famous self-portrait on the museum wall. NGS's video has since gone viral. Posted on September 26th, it garnered 2.5 million views on TikTok and 4.2 million views on Instagram a month later, according to figures provided by the museum. This intergenerational meme resonates because it bridges generational gaps in a relatable and humorous way, says Ms. Ling Ying Xing, that's quite the name, Assistant Director of Integrated Marketing at NGS. While initially targeted at Gen Z, we've received enthusiastic reactions from people of all ages and backgrounds globally, she says, adding that it aligns with the museum's goal of making art accessible for everyone. The video was conceptualized by the museum's social media content creator, Ms. Amelia Lowe, 27. Mr. Yeo, its newly minted TikTok star, now has visitors requesting photos with him. More government ministries and public institutions are hopping onto a worldwide social media trend, in which Gen Z interns aged up to 27 write the marketing script for older colleagues to present. Oh dear God. So this is the world we live in right now. Anyway, the Ministry of Manpower, MOM, Singapore Tourism Board, STB, and Mandai Wildlife Group, for example, have scored hundreds of thousands of views online for short videos along these lines, with the most successful reaching a few million. Using Gen Z speak to gently poke fun at intergenerational dynamics is a new cost-effective way to attract wider audiences, observers say. Such state institutions steeped in tradition are tweaking their social media strategies with these memes. Okay. SCB's Director of Marketing Activation, Ms. Georgina Ko, says adapting to current social media trends while maintaining our brand identity allows for organic, timely engagement, potentially increasing virality and reach. It represents a subtle evolution in our strategy. I'm not sure how this is subtle in any way, but it's terrifying. In a video posted on October 11 on STB's at visit underscore Singapore accounts, Mr. Andrews Wong, a 62-year-old tour guide from the Tribe Tours agency, highlights disappearing logo traits, using a plethora of phrases popular with the TikTok crowd. He hails the CEO of preserving the craft of traditional paper houses as a Sigma, a Gen Z term denoting dominance and success. He also describes the high temperatures of a coffee factory as it's giving sauna, it's giving facial, where it's giving describes an intense mood or vibe. Oh dear. I don't know. Is this really entertaining? I don't know. I just find it kind of cringe. The video ends with Mr. Wong proclaiming "slay," which means to do a job exceedingly well, and making a heart shape with his hands. It amassed more than 520,000 views across TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube Shorts. At Mandai Wildlife Group, Gen Z-friendly content plays a role in reaching global audiences who no longer actively Google the information they want, but discover new experiences through social media videos. A video about the group's River Wonders Wildlife Park, posted on September 11, has garnered more than 2.23 million views across the at Mandai Wildlife Reserve account on TikTok and Instagram. Here to Mandai Wildlife Group Assistant Operations Managers who are millennials, an age group that ranges from 28 to 43, engage in a deadpan delivery sprinkled with slang terms used by those several years younger. Mr. Joseph Hwa, 37, for instance, maintains a poker face while promoting how River Wonders is perfect for your bread summer. The multifaceted term bread summer can mean accepting one's imperfections while embracing the pleasures of summer. Mr. S.A. Suresh, 32, intones phrases like "Our manatees ate and left no crumbs," denoting admiration and praise for the marine mammal. Ms. Cassandra Liu, Digital and Data Manager at Mandai Wildlife Group, says, "With the unique language and culture, the slang and jargon spoken by Gen Zers can sometimes be confusing to older generations. We hope this video helped in deciphering Gen Z slang. After all, this group of influential digital natives is the future. Particularly among younger audiences, social search is gaining momentum. With a preference for searching for and learning more about a brand through social media videos instead of traditional search engines." She adds that audiences in other countries often comment that watching at Mandai Wildlife Reserve videos has inspired them to visit the reserve, which encompasses wildlife parks, river wonders, Singapore Zoo, night safari, and bird paradise. Meanwhile, MOM already has a strong TikTok game despite launching its TikTok account, SG Ministry of Manpower, only in September. A video announcing that the ministry is now on TikTok has about 2.4 million views, while its Gen Z Writes a Marketing Script video, posted on October 11, scored more than 390,000 views on TikTok and 4,500 views on Instagram. In it, two middle-aged gents talk approvingly about the main character energy, which refers to the charisma and self-assurance associated with the main protagonist in a novel or movie that flexible work arrangements bestow. Other topics featured by MON recently on social media include career health and legislation relating to workplace fairness. Uh, oh, is it? Oh, just noticed the chat. School now so boring after PSLE. Well, tell me about it. I'm here in the office on a Sunday, so no better here. For those of you just tuning in, to be very clear, I am not an actual teacher. I am just a reader. Reader as in someone who literally just reads the news articles here. So I'm not qualified to teach anyone, but I am here to read along the news with everyone. If that proves to be entertaining, I hope. I don't know, I'm not sure. Also, I am having a bit of a throat problem, so don't mind me. If you are bored after the PSLE, I guess you could always definitely look for look for something new to learn. Um, Start read more. Um, Go out, hang out with friends. I don't know if you're having school holidays at this point, but definitely go outside while while there isn't a zombie outbreak or another pandemic. Hang out with friends or just learn a new skill. If if explore some new hobbies, learn a new dance or something. I very much like to be out right now, but I am stuck in the office, so if it helps, let me entertain you with cringy news. Miss Alicia Sim, 23, says sometimes these household names give younger people the impression of being serious and slightly daunting. There's a whole generation of us just entering the workforce. Here you can tell that these established brands are trying to rejuvenate their image. It's like, oh, the brands are actually listening to us. It's fresh, it's giving authenticity. Hmm, okay, looking at the chat again. Like almost every class is free period and we only read books and do graduation rehearsal. Huh, okay. I can't imagine what's that like right now, because during my time when PSLE was over, we would bring board games to school. So I don't know if that's still a thing. Uh, I know the board game scene has been trending up, but I'm not sure if that's still a practice right now in primary school to bring board games. Um, yeah, so like we weren't allowed to even I mean back then we didn't have like handheld devices and stuff to bring to school, so board games was like the the main thing to keep us busy. The teachers would play some movies, but uh, they're just very generic, kid-friendly movies. So if you can bring some activities along, I don't know. I don't know what's allowed these days. Uh, I guess after a while reading so many books, you can get quite bored. Maybe switch it up a bit, bring graphic novels if that's allowed. I think there's a couple of nice graphic novels you can look for in the library. Sorry if I sound nasally because I am nasally. My allergies are in, and it is a Sunday, so not great. Excuse me. The Nanyang Technological University undergraduate, who is interning at a public relations agency, adds, the slang is almost like a code. It breaks the ice. If you can understand my code, I'm more likely to trust you. I feel that younger audiences appreciate that more. It feels more friendly versus a formal info dump session. It's a two-way relationship. I feel like there's a lot of assumptions in that statement, but anyway, digital marketing experts say the wholesome intergenerational marketing meme diffuses some of the perceived tension between generations, embodied in the "okay boomer" internet catchphrase of recent years. The dismissive phrase, which suggests there is no use arguing with seniors who do not know what they are talking about, is widely used to mock attitudes associated with older people. Uh, okay. Assistant Professor Jisoo Kim, who teaches digital communications and integrated media. Uh, huh. Okay, that's interesting. Who teaches digital communications and integrated media undergraduates at the Singapore Institute of Technology. That is a tiring line to read. Describes this new intergenerational exchange where Gen Z writes the marketing script as an inviting and friendly dynamic. This is in contrast to the denigration of younger adults as being fragile snowflakes encountering okay boomer accusations in some online videos. I think people just really just need to communicate on an honest and personal level. I think like if we throw broad generalizations like these, there is bound to be misunderstandings. So I think at the end of the day, whether you're Gen Z, or Boomer, or millennial, whatever it is, it just takes effort to reach out and communicate. So if you're not communicating and not trying to reach a certain level of understanding, then yes, there will be conflict, there will be misunderstandings, and there will be a lot of assumptions. But if we all take the time to communicate with each other clearly and, you know, try to make sure that both parties understand each other, then I think at the end of the day, we don't have to rely on such marketing gimmicks to communicate with each other. Anyway, on to the article. Piggybacking onto TikTok memes also costs less for businesses and organizations, she says. Cost wise, compared with using influencers for social media strategies, using ongoing trends is more effective. She cautions, however, that trend jacking, a popular digital marketing technique used to leverage the power of trending topics, events, or hashtags on social media, can backfire. Hate to say it, but this is also what we do here, so. Using trends like the very mindful, very demure meme just to be connected with Gen Z may not result in a consistency in organizations. Social media strategies. Oh, okay, I read that wrong. Using trends like the very mindful, very demure meme just to be connected with Gen Z may not result in a consistency in organizations' social media strategies. Got thrown off by the little apostrophe there. She says, adding that different age groups have diverse expectations and needs online. What? She says, adding that different age groups have diverse expectations and needs online. That did not make sense at all. I have no idea what this online is supposed to be. For now, Mr. Yeo, NGS's latest TikTok sensation, is enjoying this youthful immersion. The visitor experience ambassador at a museum says, the words that I regularly use, like lit and cooking, have a different meaning for me. They were quite confusing and surprising as they have a different meaning for Gen Zers. I still don't know why something that is nice is described as fire, but it is interesting. That's actually kind of funny. The reactions have been positive and encouraging, although I did not expect the video to become viral. Visitors' requests to take photos with me have been polite and respectful. There is your 3 seconds of internet fame. Now, when people ask him if he was in NGS's TikTok video, he replies, "No cap." This means for real or no lie in Gen Z speak. Lol. Okay, so that's the world today. Oh, that's kind of cool. What is that? Okay, so we're gonna go on to the next news article. Hopefully something lighthearted and not depressing. So, for those of you joining us this morning, we are doing the morning news reading session, going through the Straits Times. Thank you for joining us. If you are here for the lessons will only begin at 2:30 p.m. with actual teachers. I am not a teacher. I am just a person with a voice here to make your morning a little less boring. So here we go. TBR to be read. Graphic novels are an easy option for minds too tired for wordy reads. Singapore. When my brain is too tired to process hundreds of words on a page, but I still feel a desire to read, I reach for a graphic novel. They make reading feel easy, allowing my mind to slow down as I take the time to appreciate the artwork that accompanies the story. The combination of text and illustrations does the heavy lifting. When my mind feels incapable of stringing together a coherent sentence, probably like me right now. Perhaps the comfort I find in illustrations harkens back to my childhood, loving the variety of picture books and illustrated stories I had to flip through. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I haven't had my coffee yet. Company doesn't. No. Anyway, many of these books have been lost to me since, but the memories I have of them reading them remain vivid in my mind. It is not dissimilar to the comfort I find in animation when adult life gets a bit too intense, and I feel the need to make a blanket fort. I would certainly benefit from hiding in a blanket fort right now. Still, being fairly new to the genre, my method of finding graphic novels has included a lot of trial and error, heavy on the error. The process begins with going to a National Library Board branch. I have been partial to the Pongo Regional Library since writing about it and picking up whatever catches my eye. Interesting discoveries include a recent favorite, Twistwood Tales by A.C. MacDonald 2023, a humorous, punny, and heartfelt twist on fairy tales and popular colloquialisms that involve the quirky residents of Twistwood. Clever as the jokes are, excuse me, wow, I did not expect that. What does that mean? I don't know. Clever as the jokes are, the cozy art style makes the experience worth it, particularly during scenes like the introduction of the rubber duckies. In 2023, the graphic novel that grew unexpectedly close to my heart was How to Date a Dozen Men by Samara Gan. I read through it 3 times in the span of 2 months, each time slower than the last. It was not only the refreshing candid reflect. Pardon me, I am pushing through without coffee. It was not only the refreshingly candid reflections about how complicated dating has become, but also something about the illustrations that made me want to linger on each page, taking my time to absorb the story. My goal is one my goal is to one day have a shelf full of graphic novels I love that I can reliably turn to after long days. The mere thought of spending my evenings slowly flipping through the pages while lingering on the art brings a smile to my face. My current collection is meager, but everything has to begin somewhere. I know I'll be buying Fried Rice 2024 by Erica Eng during Singapore Writers Festival, and hopefully get it signed since the Eisner Award winner will be in town. As I slowly discover more of what I like, my shelves are sure to grow. But for now, I will return to the three graphic novels I borrowed from the library as I enjoy my weekend. Okay, so that was the short article. We will be right back for more morning news reading. Once I clear my nostrils, because it's hard to read and breathe at the same time when your nose is clogged. Oh, hope everyone else is having a better morning than I am. We are doing the news reading sessions, so if you're here for the lessons, it only starts at around 2:30 today. Let's see. What the? Okay. Sure. Yeah, let's look at this. Squid Game 2 to be more intriguing, show creator promises. Luca. Revenge will be in the air in the hotly anticipated second season of Squid Game 2021 to present. The Netflix series creator Hwang Dong-hyuk says, promising a bigger cast of characters and more absorbing challenges than the original. Okay. That's cool. Attending the first global promotional event for the new season in the Tuscan city of Lucca, Huang told Reuters a third edition of the K-drama is already in post-production, and hinted an English language version may be in the offing too. The first season of Squid Game became Netflix's most watched series of all time when it was released in 2021. Huang went on to win an Emmy for Outstanding Directing for a drama series, while leading man Lee Jung-jae scored a Best Actor in a Drama Emmy Award. Both were the first Asians to take home those titles and the first for a non-English language series. Given the huge viewing figures, the dystopian show was inevitably renewed and is due to hit the streaming service on December 26th, with the third and final installment set for rollout in 2025. So that's something to look forward to end of year after Christmas. I'm quite excited for this myself. In season 2, Gi-hun Lee, who survived season 1, returns to the games, not to win this time round, but to put an end to these games, said Huang, the show's writer, director, and producer. There is going to be a larger number of characters this time, and more intriguing games that are all worthy of a lot of the viewers' love and support, he said. The thriller series follows cash-strapped contestants who take part in deadly survival challenges, featuring childhood games for a chance to win a fortune. The new season takes place 3 years after the events of the first and sees Lee's character, Seong Gi-hun, returning to the life or death game with new participants. Oh my gosh, I have no coffee and this room is freezing and I'm trying to push through. So please forgive me if I make funny noises. Oh boy. Also attending the Luca Comics and Games event, Lee told Reuters there was pressure to improve on the original, adding that his character, a former gambling addict, is a changed man. Gi-hun is a very different person in season 2. This time around, he wants revenge. He wants to catch the people behind the games, and he wants to bring them to justice, he said. The Hollywood news site Deadline reported on October 28 that American director David Fincher, who made the 1999 hit Fight Club, is working on an English language version of Squid Game for Netflix. I don't think it's official yet, so I cannot tell you much about it. But, I respect him as a filmmaker and creator, Huang said when he asked about the report. So if he does it, I'm looking forward to seeing it. Reuters. So that's a bit of fun entertainment news. Well, that's a bit of ironic news right there. Uh, Looking for more fun stuff, so I'm not sure if I want to read this because it's not exactly fun. Also, it's freezing. It's really, really cold in here. Yeah, I'm probably not going to read this article. It is a bit um, annoying, to say the least. Where is fun news? Where is all the fun news? My goodness, I'm freezing in here. Maybe look at this. Whatever this is about. Okay, I'm gonna skip this. We're going back to the main page. I'm probably gonna look for the headlines, see if we can find anything relevant. I guess you could read this. Headlines. Debate heats up over driving age limit. Medical tests after accidents involving elderly drivers. Singapore. A number of accidents involving elderly drivers in recent months have sparked debate over whether seniors should continue to take the wheel. In September, at least two elderly drivers were involved in police investigations following separate accidents. One of them, aged 77, was arrested over an accident in Toa Payoh that led to the death of an 83-year-old cyclist. Good Lord. In another case, a 70-year-old driver's car collided with the rear of a double-decker bus at a hilltop bus stop. So, okay. Such accidents often draw hundreds of comments on social media, with netizens sparring over the merit of having a driving cut-off age. In Singapore, the statutory age limit for taxi, private hire car, and heavy vehicle drivers is 75, but there is no restriction for those who do not drive for a living. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Motorists aged 65 and above, however, must be certified fit to drive by a Singapore registered doctor once every 3 years in order to renew their licenses. During the medical test, drivers have to report their medical history to the doctor, who will check for signs of physical disabilities, psychiatric disorder, and hearing difficulty, among other things. Gosh, it's freezing in here. Someone save me. Oh boy. Psychiatric disorder and hearing difficulty. Among other things, a vision test. Among other things, a vision test and a basic mental impairment test will also be done. Proponents of a driving age limit say it will be good for road safety, but others call them out for making ageist assumptions and stereotyping. Some also challenge the notion that elderly drivers are to blame for more accidents. According to the police, the number of fatal accidents involving drivers aged 65 and above, who include motorcyclists and heavy vehicle drivers, has risen from 8 in the first 6 months of 2023 to 11 in the same period in 2024. Comparison, the figure for drivers age 64. Yes, this is the morning news reading session in response to everyone else. The lessons will only begin at 2:30, so this is just sort of like a filler episode, if you will. Also, it is freezing cold in this room. If anyone's listening to this, please send hot chocolate and warm blankets. I am dying here. According to the police, the number of fatal accidents involving drivers aged 65 and above, who include motorists, motorcyclists, and heavy vehicle drivers, has risen from 8 in the first 6 months of 2023 to 11 in the same period in 2024. In comparison, the figure for drivers aged 64 and below fell from 66 to 63. There was also an increase of about 5% in the number of accidents involving drivers aged 65 and above that resulted in injuries, from 606 in the first half of 2023 to 629 in the first half of 2024. For drivers aged 64 and below, this fell by about 1%. Oh my gosh, it's so cold in here. While it is hard to draw conclusions from a small set of year-on-year data, transport economist Walter Teixeira said an uptrend in the number of accidents involving elderly drivers can be expected in the future. This is simply because of Singapore's aging population and also because of the increased affluence of our older population, where more are still able to afford cars even in retirement, said the associate professor from the Singapore University of Social Sciences. Fit to drive. Five seniors who spoke to the Straits Times acknowledged the concerns about their fitness to drive, but said they want to keep doing so for as long as possible. There is no denying that my reflexes are getting slower as I age, but it doesn't mean that I'm incapable of driving, said retiree Ruth Wan, 80, who still drives herself and her less mobile friends around for medical appointments and grocery shopping. But she has adjusted her driving routine for her own safety. While she used to love driving long distances to Malaysia, she has stopped doing so as she gets tired more easily now. For Mrs. Kim Sagadeva, who passed the fourth medical test for license renewal in 2023, driving is a vital part of her life. The 75-year-old said those who are certified fit to drive should not be banned from the roads. One should never use chronological age to determine another's ability, said the regular golfer, adding that she often outperforms those 30 years her junior on the golf course. Legal requirement. Some have questioned if the current requirement is adequate. Mr. Bernard Tay, chairman of the Singapore Road Safety Council, suggested that elderly drivers, including himself, should voluntarily go for more medical checkups. 75-year-old said seniors who are aware of any impairments that may affect their ability to drive should not wait for the mandatory medical examination every 3 years. You must take responsibility and go for regular medical checkups to ensure you are fit to drive, as if anyone's gonna listen. Dr. Kelvin Goh, medical lead of United Primary Care Network, told ST that doctors have the responsibility to advise patients to stop driving when they develop medical conditions that make them unfit to drive. It's really cold in this room. I'm freezing. If patients do not comply, doctors can report them to the police, while balancing the patient's right to confidentiality, he said. However, one challenge we face is that we are unable to access the National Electronic Health Record for this medical exam, as it is not one of the permitted uses, said Dr. Go. Hence, we are unsure if the patient's declaration of his or her medical history is accurate. Professor Tessera suggested making the medical test more thorough and rigorous. For example, it is not useful to involve ge- geriatricians, doctors who specialize in treating older adults. For example, it is useful to involve geriatricians, doctors who specialize in treating older adults, in the certification process. He said medical experts can also weigh in on what other functional tests, such as those for reaction time, should be introduced. But more tests would increase costs for drivers, so a more calibrated approach is needed, he added. If there is strong evidence that many seniors experience declining capabilities at a certain age, the relevant tests can be phased in at that point. Sorry, just freezing in here, so just give me a moment to warm myself up a bit. It is hard to read when you are frozen. Okay, welcome back to the morning news. For those of you who are tuning in, it's a nice Sunday morning. It's raining outside, so hope you're having a nice time. I'm stuck here, freezing my ass off. Anyway, I hope you enjoy tuning in. Some countries have already adopted a phased approach. In Japan, drivers aged 70 and above have to complete a driving course again before license renewal. Those aged 75 and older will be tested on their memory and judgment. In New South Wales, Australia, drivers aged 75 and above have to pass an annual medical test. Drivers aged 85 and above also have to pass a driving test every 2 years. Regional governments across South Korea are offering certificates worth 100,000 won, the equivalent of 100 Singapore dollars, to 300,000 won, to incentivize older drivers to give up their license. In May, the central government proposed issuing a conditional license that would restrict highway access and nighttime driving for drivers aged 65 and above based on their driving capabilities. The proposal, however, drew a long public backlash, prompting the government to pledge a review before deciding whether to proceed with it in 2025. Elderly drivers whom Straits Times spoke to also did not like the idea mooted by the South Korean authorities. Retiree James Liu, 75, said banning elderly drivers from highways is an ageist move. Should we also ban all motorcyclists from traveling on expressways since there are many fatal motorcycle accidents as well? He asked, adding that enforcement officers will also have a hard time ensuring compliance. This is a false argument, I feel, but I'm not sure what the correct policy term to use is. But anyway, self awareness. Mr. Liu, who hits the gym at least 4 times a week, said the key is for elderly drivers to be self aware. I'm aware that I may be slower than I was before, so I'm a little more careful and do not speed or try to beat the red lights while I'm on the road, he said. Retiree Tan Peng An, who has been driving for over 4 years, shared the same view. If a driver knows that he has night blindness, he should just not drive at night. It will be difficult for the authorities to police everyone, the 66-year-old added. Dr. Teo Chiang Wen, an associate consultant with Outram Community Hospital, said elderly drivers can avoid driving on unfamiliar roads at night and during rush hour or bad weather. Assuming anyone actually cares or listens to such advice, planning safe routes with fewer right turns, slow traffic, and well-lit streets can make driving less stressful and safer, said Dr. Teo, who looks after elderly patients. They can also drive a car equipped with power brakes, rear view mirror cameras, and other sensors to help alert them to nearby vehicles, he added. Welcome everyone to the morning news reading. It is freezing in this room, so just give me a minute while I try to warm up a bit. Oh my goodness, it's so cold. Didn't realize it was gonna rain today. It's just freezing. Oh my gosh. It would be really nice if someone sent hot chocolate and blankets right now. Warning signs. However, not all elderly drivers are self-aware and can be counted on to give up driving voluntarily. In such cases, their family members have to watch out for warning signs, such as unexplained dents and scratches on their cars, Dr. Teo said. If family members notice that their elderly parents or grandparents are getting lost on familiar routes, having trouble following traffic signals, and showing signs of early stage dementia, they should start a conversation but approach the topic with care. Avoid language that may make seniors feel as though their independence is being taken away. Instead, frame the discussion around their safety and well-being, Dr. Teo said. Rather than focusing on loss of privilege, the conversation can shift towards transitioning to alternative transport options, such as family carpooling, ride-sharing services, or public transportation, and preserve their independence, he added. Temasek Polytechnic gerontology lecturer Geetika Gupta said elderly drivers who are not receptive of family members' advice can be taken to a doctor or an occupational therapist who can evaluate their driving abilities objectively. I'm so cold, I'm freezing in this room, help. Often, hearing the risk from a trusted professional can help them come to terms with the need to reduce or stop driving, she said. If they remain resistant to giving up driving, Dr. Teo suggested that family members limit the senior's access to the car, park it in a less convenient location, or disable the vehicle. They should also be reminded that their insurance claims will not be entertained if they have been advised by the doctor against driving, he added. Insurance providers that ST spoke to said they do insure elderly motorists, but only if they are certified medically fit to drive. The Automobile Association of Singapore and Liberty Insurance, which launched an insurance policy tailored for senior drivers in 2014, said new applications are accepted for drivers up to age 75. Elderly drivers can cope better if they have emotional support from their loved ones, Ms. Gupta said. The decision to stop driving may cause feelings of frustration, sadness, as it symbolizes a loss of independence and autonomy. Families should recognize these feelings and offer support throughout the transitions, he said. And that is for our headline news today on driving. It is really, really cold in this room. Stuck here on a Sunday. This is not fun. Let's see what else we can read. It's freezing. Well, I suppose we can read this article here. What the? Oh my gosh, this looks so lame. Gamified experiences can Gamified experiences help children gain financial literacy. Spot scams. Singapore colorful booths reminiscent of retro arcade machines caught the eye of Cheong Ziyu, 13, who pulled his father in to explore the area. Resembling an automated teller machine (ATM), the booth, made by local education platform Aiya, provides a series of interactive games that teach basic but essential financial literacy skills to children. Please allow me to blow my nose because it's cold freezing and I can't breathe. Uh, those of you working on a Sunday morning, especially one as rainy as this, I feel you, I feel your pain. I reach out to you and offer my sympathies. These include learning how to spot scams, how passwords can be stolen, and how to set up stronger security in the digital space. The eye-catching booths were just one part of the digital and financial literacy initiative organized by POSB at the Tsuji Humanistic Youth Center in Yishun on November 2. Other sections include virtual reality games that challenge participants to budget their money, scam awareness quizzes, and financial literacy workshops. Ziyu said the games helped him learn about managing money. The games were very interactive. They taught me to be careful with my money and also how to spot scams before they happen, he said at the POSB Your Neighborhood Carnival. Wow, so fun. Minister for Home Affairs and Law K. Shanmugam attended the event with members of Nee Soon Town Council. Speaking to the media of the sidelines of the event, Mr. Shanmugam said the government will continue to partner stakeholders such as POSB to educate the public and provide a shield against scams for Singaporeans. It's super effective. This comes as scams continue to rise and become more sophisticated, he added. Victims in Singapore lost a record $385.6 million in the first half of 2024, with the number of cases in the first 6 months of the year increasing by 16.3% to more than 26,500 compared with the 22,853 cases over the same period in 2023. Mr. Shanmugam said the government will continue to engage the media and also participate in events such as POSV's initiatives to increase people's knowledge and fight scams. One important educational skill is financial literacy among the community, he said. When we look at the needs of our community, we also think about the life skills they need. A skill that everyone can benefit from, even from a very young age, is financial literacy. The minister added having a good understanding of financial concepts is key to cultivating responsible financial behavior, from budgeting to planning for retirement. Allows everyone to have better control of their financial future. Miss Isabella Andrews, education liaison at AYA, told Singapore Straits Times that gamifying the learning experience for young children can help them learn more about financial literacy. We wanted to make the experience a little bit more fun and interactive, and we've seen kids above primary 3 learn better through these games as they want to achieve the highest score in them. As a result, we will read and educate themselves to get the right answer, she said. Uh, she pointed out that this applies even to younger children who may not understand such financial concepts. Cool. The younger kids below primary 3 enjoyed playing the games, and they were actually intrigued by the illustrations and animations. This made them curious in knowing what the art is about, and when they asked questions, we were able to break it down for them, said Ms. Andrews, adding that the gamified ATM booths, which took about 6 months from conceptualization to production, will be taken to 20 primary schools and 4 public libraries by the end of 2024 as an educational show. Mr. Paul Cheung, father of Ziyu, said IES gamified ATM experience has helped his son understand scams better. Said Mr. Cheung, 51, who works in procurement, it's actually quite interactive and easy to understand. I think even adults will find it useful. Games will get the child to understand more about scams, what phishing or different types of call scams can be. Separately, Deputy Prime Minister Heng Swee Keat launched the East Coast Digital Ambassadors Initiative in Bedok on November 2. It is aimed at enhancing digital literacy and bridging the digital divide through artificial intelligence among residents in the East Coast. About 600 individuals will become ambassadors over the next 3 years to create digital initiatives and lead the efforts. Okay, so that's gonna be all for today's reading. Please forgive me, it's freezing here. It is inhumane. Do join us at 2:30 for more actual lessons from an actual teacher. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be all